7.8 billion. But when it comes down to making a difference, just remembering that we are the smallest of fragments in a 7.8 billion piece jigsaw puzzle starts making the world feel larger than it actually is, scarier than it actually is, and it makes you want to crawl back into your shell. How on earth am I to make a difference, to leave my mark in a world of 7.8 billion? Hello, MLKJ Club. It's great to be back. My name is Gracie, and the answer to that is you alone can't make a difference, but united under a common cause, you could be unstoppable. Many people live and die as just one person among billions. But what many forget is that all the greats, Gandhi, Churchill, Obama, were all born as just one among billions. We all start out the same way. So what is it that makes all these people, these leaders, different? What do they all have in common? Well, to answer that, they're all figures associated with change, with bringing people together in the face of adversity. And they accomplished it in large part thanks to their communication skills. When they spoke, audiences listened, crowds cheered, people cried. They practically moved mountains with their words. How can you use communication to achieve a similar effect, I hear you ask? Well, it's really simple, and that's what today's talk is all about. Communication, or rather good communication, is the ability to develop a keen external awareness that separates the truly great communicators from those who muddle through their interactions with others. If you examine the world's greatest leaders, you'll find them all to be exceptional communicators. They might talk about their ideas, but they do so in a way which also speaks to your emotions and your aspirations. They communicate their dreams, but somehow, some way, they make you feel as though it's your dream too. They realize if their message doesn't take deep root with the audience, then it likely won't be understood, much less championed. Talk is cheap, you hear some people say, but every great idea begins with a word, powerful enough to convince others to follow. By honing your communication skills, you can learn to infuse passion to your speeches, prose, and even everyday conversations to inspire others. If you want an audience to care about a cause or goal, they need to know that you care about it too. Find a careful balance of fiery language and a compelling, logical argument to build credibility while making your case. Because most of us here are younger people, think about a time where you've wanted extra pocket money from your parents. You go to them, Mom, I'd like some extra pocket money, please. No, you may not have extra pocket money. But why, Mom? I'd like some. I really, really would. You'd beg your mom like that. Your mom would go, fine, you could have some extra pocket money just because she hears you go so passionately. In actual everyday circumstances, what I'd all be to picture everyone as your mother. And your cause is pocket money. Mother, please, can I have some pocket money? I'd really, really like it. But we're all smart people here. We know that that's not enough. Just going to someone and saying, I want extra money doesn't guarantee you'll get that money. That's why we have so many beggars in the world. What you need, as I've mentioned before, is logic. Logic that complements that passion very well. Mother, I'd really, really like some money. Oh, whatever for, child. No parent ever actually speaks like that, but whatever for, child. I'd love to buy some new textbooks. Why, I'm so proud of my child and his cause. Here's some extra pocket money for you. Oh, if only it were that simple in real life, but I'm sure all of us get the idea here. If you want people to take the grasp, the root, the core of what it is you're trying to say, it's not enough to have just logic or just theoriness. You need to have a very good mix of both. In a general sense, most communication endeavors revolve around inciting change. From introducing a new idea to putting it into motion, you'll need to deliver your message carefully and confidently if you want your audience on board. Whether it's in a personal, business, or a global level, many people have a hard time accepting and adjusting to change. However, if you are strategic and thoughtful enough, any approach to communicating change can turn a frightening transition into a hopeful new adventure. For instance, you get a 76 on your test. Wow, it's getting more specific now. You go to your teacher and you go, Dr. Halima, I don't think I deserve this 76. I think I deserve much higher. Isn't it scary to speak up to a teacher? To speak up to a position or a person of power? Yes, it is scary. But any careful approach, as I've mentioned before, can turn any frightening transition into something hopeful, a new adventure. A clear, effective communicator is not only great at giving presentations or hashing out business deals or wowing your teachers into giving you more grades. Those things come with the territory, of course. But if you've set your sights on creating change on a local, national, and global scale, great communication skills will help you get there. It is simply impossible to become a great leader without being a great communicator first. I hope you noticed the previous sentence didn't refer to being a great talker. There's a big difference between talking and communicating. The key to becoming a skillful communicator is rarely found in what has been taught in school. From our earliest days in the classroom, we are trained to focus on enunciation or vocabulary or presence, delivery, grammar, whatever. In other words, we are taught to focus on ourselves, the way we look. But there is no I in leader. And this obsession with creating talkers rather than communicators is precisely why so many conflicts in the world exist today. People speak to outdo one another, and very rarely do we focus on the solutions that can be discovered by listening. Many problems in the world, truly, very many, come from people not knowing or understanding each other's needs. Everyone has their own struggle. Everyone has something that makes them feel down, but no one is willing to lend an ear. You can't have leadership without communication, and you can't have communication without clarity. Everyone has such grand solutions to so many of the issues in our world that often we forget that the first step is always good communication. 100,000 good solutions to one problem are 100,000 wasted solutions if people cannot stand together to implement them. You are 1 in 7.8 billion right now, but if you can communicate to lead, there are 7.8 billion people who stand as one, who stand with you. There may be an I in unity, but it also begins with you. So MLKJ Club, to lead is to communicate. To communicate is to lead. Remember that as you move forward in life. And remember that if you can speak, then you're already one step closer to changing the world. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Halima.